You don't have a time problem, you have a boundary problem. Welcome to Connected, podcast for creators who want to build something meaningful beyond hustle. My name is Maria, and today we are going to talk about boundaries and how they shape what you are actually building and why is it important. Because boundaries are one of the things that might seem simple, but in real life they are not. And it's not because you wouldn't know better, it's because it's uncomfortable. You know, the situations where you want to say no, but you actually say yes. And those turn out into all the moments throughout the day when you are meeting the people that you don't want, you are staying too long in the meetings, you are replying to the messages and so on, and you are not actually doing the things that you want to do or need to do. And then at the end of the day, you're feeling exhausted and you're finding out you didn't accomplish what you wanted to do, your tasks, and so on. So this is where you're leaking your energy. This is why boundaries are important, because boundaries are not rejection. Boundaries are direction. Boundaries are not bad. You're simply directing things in your life, in your work, in your project, in your company, towards what you want, towards your goals, your vision, what do you want actually right now. So saying no to something or setting a boundary that is not aligned with your day, with your work, with your goal is not rejection. It is actually keeping yourself on the path that you selected for yourself. So it is also self-leadership, which is very important, and self-respect. And those are the crucial points that I want to talk about here, but I want it for you to be practical and bring it into the practical real life situations that you can have in life and the work. And I would like to walk you through the three main topics we will have a look at. And one of them is, and first one is boundaries with your time. That's all the time spent on the meetings for too long, or maybe we can even say spend on the meetings, because meetings is kind of a tricky thing and bit of a trap. Many people want to meet or meeting for this and that and so on, and it's actually a great waste of time many times. So I always say, before you are going to a meeting or are being invited for a meeting, or you have a tendency to create a meeting, I'm now talking about the work area, ask yourself 3 times, is this meeting really needed? Is this meeting really necessary? 3 times ask yourself. If it is, then create an exact time slot for this meeting, how long it's gonna take. It actually shouldn't be more than 60 minutes, and very often 30 is enough. You should have clear intention, purpose, and goal of the outcome for this meeting before you are entering the meeting, so you know how to drive the meeting, because very often what happens is that the attention kind of goes aside, and then you have to bring it back to the main topic of the meeting so that you don't leak time and waste time that you will then miss elsewhere. So this is important for you to have. And as you can see, we are having here another boundary. How long does the meeting take? What are we talking about here on the meeting, and so on. So it is also the availability for the people, not only here, but completely. Many people think that if you're being available all the time, that's good, or that you even have to be or need to be available all the time. That's what makes you a good leader. That's what makes you a good manager. That's what makes you a good creator. But no, this is not needed. This is not necessary. You are not supposed to be available all the time. What makes you good leader and better leader is actually when you give people clarity. When are you available? Because if you are having clarity in this availability, this is what also creates a natural authority. You're not being available all day long to the messages, to the emails and meetings anytime. That's not efficient for anyone, nor for you, nor for the vision, for the project, for the company, or for the other people. Many people fall in this trap because they think, I have to be there to support them, they need help, they need something from me to make things happen. And this is the trap. This is the lack of delegation and trust towards the team, or we could go deeper into what can be there, but that's not what you are supposed to do. So availability to people is very important. It is also availability to messages, to emails, and so on. It's all availability to, it's all your time. And people are, this is not rare, this is very often. I've seen it so many times. I've been there myself many years ago. It is constant reacting to emails, messages, other people, and it is exhausting because you are actually in the reactive mode. You are doing tasks of everyone else. Many people think that when you are working on the emails, it's actual work. It's not. Your actual work is not emails. Your actual work is not notifications. Your actual work is not responding to messages. That's not your actual work. Emails are something that are supposed to have a time slot in your day, in your schedule, like from to, I'm going to look in my mailbox. I'm going to look at the emails. And what's not going to fit in is not going to fit in. And here is another trap of another boundary and a mindset and belief shift that if I'm not going to reply to everything now, I'm going to miss out on something, or people will miss on something, or something is not going to happen because. And this is another trap where people drop into this reactive urgency mode. And this is a shift that maybe isn't the easiest one. It's also a matter of habit and matter of training your mind and rewiring your beliefs and so on. It can be a couple of things together. But once you start doing those things, it will change. It will change also how the other people work, how they also perceive your availability. Because if you give a clear availability of yourself to other people, then they come prepared. They don't waste your time anymore, and you don't want them to waste your time. So we are coming down to boundaries with people. I'm gonna talk about your environment that you are having. Those can be people, whether they're in your work, project, company, friends, or family. Your environment, your circle simply. There are very many things that we could talk about, and this podcast could go for 2 days, but I will select those or this thing that I find very important here. And that is that once you start creating something, once you start to grow, your environment, your circle will start to react to it or not. Also, not reacting to it is reaction, and I will explain why. The thing is, all those people that you have in your circle knew you somehow and were or are connected to you in that level, in that reality, in that identity that you have. But as soon as you start creating and building something, you are growing and you are shifting your identity, you are growing. So they are disturbed because they don't feel the connection that they had to you, because you are simply expanding. And this is something what can create different reactions in different people. There might be some people that will support you. There might be some people, they will feel triggered by this. Some people might feel intimidated by this. So your relationships will recalibrate, whether it's your personal life or your work life, they will start recalibrating. And this is also a phase where you need a great emotional resilience to walk through this. But also this is a very important boundary. Because if you know what you are going towards, if you know what you are building, you need to set a boundary with people, otherwise you would fall back and you would not be able to go towards your better version, towards the life that you want, towards the project that you are building. So your boundary is crucial here, because sometimes you maybe have to say no to certain people, certain situations, certain conversations. They don't simply have space and place anymore. And it's okay, it's right. And you need to be centered enough to be able to do this. And boundaries with people is a very strong topic. We could talk a lot, so I will leave it here. In case you want to talk more about it, we can always have a session together. And for now, I would move it to the third, let's say, circle of boundaries that I wanted to share in this episode. And that is boundaries with your attention. And I want to downsize it to the very simple thing, but very, very important and very draining one. And those are phones and notifications. It might seem very simple and for many people unimportant, but this is a huge danger. This is a this is a great field of mines here, because we are having the phone all the time and the notifications are there all the time for most of the people, unfortunately. Many apps, many notification, the phone is ringing, ding, 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 throughout the day. And many people just find it as a normal. They got used to that. So what's happening here is being in reactive mode and losing yourself. Why? Because as soon as you are paying attention to those notifications all the time, you are giving your attention to something or someone else. Whether it's a message, whether it's an app telling you something, whether it's social media, you're losing yourself. You're giving away your energy, your attention, your time. So you have to be very delicate when you want to build something. Where are you using your energy, your time, and your attention, right? And this is also very crucial for many things. But one thing I want to really emphasize here is that when you are creating something and when you are in a deep focus and you are being constantly disturbed, or even one disturbing thing comes as a notification, your brain goes out of the focus. And it takes the brain around 20 minutes to come back to the same level of focus again. It means, in reality, imagine you are in your deep work, whatever you are working on, whether you're creating something, you're in design, you're in your Excel sheet, you are in deep work state. And bang, this notification comes. You look at the phone, you're out of your focus immediately. And to come back into that same level in your brain, it takes brain 20 minutes. So imagine if you're having your notifications on, what's going on, you're not able to be in that creative deep mode. So it's important you are able to set your boundaries with your attention, where your attention goes, so that you are not leaking this. So notifications definitely need to have a cleanup and decluttering phase so that you can move on and build. So as you can see, those were just a few examples. We could go much deeper, we could talk much longer. But you can already see that setting boundaries, that's not bad. That's not rejection. That's how you are directing your days, your life, your work, your project, your goals, your company. Because everything you are saying yes to is shaping what you are creating. So you need to check if all your yeses are in alignment with what you want to do and what you want to create. So boundaries are not rejection. Again, they are direction, they are self-leadership, they're respect. And what is important to say is it is not about perfection. It is about starting to be aware of that, bring awareness. Awareness itself does a huge amount of work. And then you are able to start working with that. And you can start step by step. It's basically creating a habit of setting boundaries. And the more you will train this, the more confident you will be with that. And the more you will create the feeling in your body that it's safe to actually do that. Because why? It's uncomfortable because it doesn't feel safe for some reason, for some subconscious limiting belief. So it's a matter of training and rewriting that. So the awareness that you know that when you are setting a boundaries, it is not bad. It is just that you are keeping yourself in alignment to keep yourself on the path that you selected for yourself. This awareness self will help you a lot. And as mentioned, you can do it really step by step, one thing after another, few minutes after few minutes, and so on. And compound effect. Consistency compounds, and at some point you will find yourself that you are shaping your days, your time, your focus, your energy, your attention differently. And that's how you can build something meaningful in a very sustainable way with clarity. Boundaries are very crucial because many people lose themselves not having boundaries, and they basically have their days completely leaked out with many things, but not moving the needle at all. So become the person who can build and hold a vision. Boundaries are a crucial part of that. And this is also what I guide my clients through. This is also what we work on Creators Launchpad. So if you feel like this is your case or you're navigating this and you would like more support, you can either book a discovery call with me or you can join the Creators Launchpad. Links are in the bio. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next episode.